Hi, I'm Christa O'Leary, owner and CEO of Home in Harmony Lifestyle. My goal is to help you design inspired living. And I'm so excited today. I'm a little nervous. This is my first attempt at a vlog, that is, a video blog. Typically, I do my weekly blog and I hope to share, insights, inspiration, simple suggestions, and tips. But we decided to change it up a little bit and try and see what would happen with a vlog. So, after you listen, I would love to hear your comments and your feedback and, whether or not you like this format or you'd prefer to have, quiet time spent reading. Our thoughts are that maybe what we'll do is a little bit of each for a while and see how it goes because, this is the first time, so we'll see what happens. So today actually is my youngest child of 4. It's her birthday. She turned 11. And so today, as I do with all of my kids on their birthdays, and you might too with special people in your life, I really had the chance to reflect on her just being part of my life and just being such a sweet soul, a real earth angel in the midst of the people I encounter day in and day out. And I just feel really blessed that she is in my life. And so in these times, I'm reflecting on her, which also makes me reflect on my relationship with her. And then it also makes me reflect on my life in general. So today, when I went out for my run, that's a time when I tend to get clarity, inspiration around things. And as I ran, I was thinking about, this special day in her life, her 11th birthday. What is the inspiration that I can share with her, that will really guide her and help her, effortlessly and gracefully move through life in a joyous way. And as I thought about that, I also, realized that the thoughts that I would share with her would really probably be similar to the thoughts that I might share with you. And how great it would be to articulate in a way for an 11-year-old to understand, and how sometimes it's nice to share in a way that an 11-year-old can understand, because then really we all can understand it. And for me, sometimes when I'm articulating things to my kids, I try to do it in a visual way. I'm such a visual person as it is, being a designer. And so visually, it just helps sort of make things easier to understand. And so when I was thinking about, how to go about this, part of my thought process was, all right, I know that I want to share the basic premises of Home in Harmony Lifestyle, to help her design an inspired life. That would be, creating an inspired home one day, a healthy body, a calm mind, and connecting to her greater purpose and passion. But how does one go about doing that? And, what are some easy and simple tips to make it accessible to an 11-year-old? And what I thought was, all right, how and what would you want your life to look like? So that is a question I'm going to, it's going to be a common theme that I ask her from now until, she gets older, because it's one way that I actually live my life. I look at my life and think, what do I want my life to look like? Really literally in a picture, what do I want my life to look like? And then I back that down into smaller pieces to again make it accessible for me to create that graceful flow, as opposed to being caught up in the currents of life and other people's thoughts and the things that are going on in other people's lives and how they think that my life should be lived. Instead, when I take the time out to really consciously decide how I want to create my life, that allows things to just flow that much more smoothly and effortlessly. And what I tend to do is each season I look and think to myself, what do I want to enjoy out of this season? What do I want to create out of this season? And it's great because right now we're, in the northern hemisphere, we're moving into the summer season. And so for me, I, was thinking about this season in general. What do I want to create? And I know in my life, I want to create, I actually want to make space and spend more time with friends. And one of the ways that I love to do that is to host parties. I love to host parties for 2 or 200, and we love to have jazz bands and rock bands out on our deck, and we just really, really enjoy entertaining. And so as Memorial Day came along, I was reminded that I didn't have the space in my life to be able to have people gather at my home. And when I say that, what I mean is I literally didn't feel like I had the space to create it in terms of I would look out, let's say, on my back deck, and as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. It's lush and there's a lot of greenery. You probably can hear the animals in the background. It's just beautiful, and it's amazing that we're only 25 minutes from one of America's biggest cities. And but I love to share this space with others. But at the time I was feeling like, there's a lot of pollen and it just doesn't feel quite right. And I don't really want to have people over. And so what I needed to do was to take steps to make sure that it was a welcoming, inviting space where I wanted to welcome people into my life and to, share in entertaining and, all of the connection and that goes along with that. That's just a beautiful thing. So again, I had to literally make my physical space something that worked for my bigger vision of what I wanted in my life. On another level, I also had to make space within my life because as a CEO of a company that is growing by leaps and bounds, every day I'm challenged by new things, and it's all fun and really, really exciting meeting new people and new ways to understand technology and new ways to connect with people. It's just magnificent. That being said, it takes a lot of time and energy to build a company, and especially build one to the vision that I, hope to create for Home and Harmony. So what I've learned is that over the past probably 2 years, I kind of took a step back from doing this other piece of my life that I really enjoyed, which is entertaining. We would do it here and there, but not to the extent that we typically enjoy. So I realized to really fulfill that bigger vision of what I hope for my life and what I hope to manifest this season is I needed to make space. I needed to make room in my life to be able to host parties and to connect with people that, old friends and new friends and all of those that I really wish to have in my physical space. So right now I'm learning and figuring out how to make space for them. So again, what we need to do is we need to visualize and understand what the bigger picture is that we hope to have in our lives and what we hope to create for ourselves. And so when you have an understanding and you look at that as a big picture, Then you start breaking it down into smaller pieces that can then help you move along your path in an easier way to help create, the joyful, abundant, joyous experience that you're hoping to create from your life. So, what I would ask you today is, and what I will ask my little bee later on in the day, what do you want your life to look like? And what would you be doing today to make that picture a reality? And then my last question, which I would ask you in, a few days, would be, have you taken the first steps to make that happen? So I hope you've enjoyed this first Home in Harmony vlog. And I would absolutely love to hear your comments and your feedback. So please take the time to, give us feedback, make notes below. We would really, really love to hear from you and connect on all levels. So, please feel free to do that. And we'd also appreciate it if you enjoyed this first vlog, if you could share it with those that matter in your life. That would be really great. Until next time, this is Christa O'Leary of Home in Harmony.